Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we have our very first guest on the channel. He will introduce himself and tell us more about his journey and course, MBCHP, aka Medicine. I'd also like to express my gratitude for agreeing to be featured on the channel, especially since I asked him at such short notice. Thanks a lot, my brother, for that. So I'll try to keep this video as brief as I can. If I happen to leave out any important questions, please ask them in the comment section and we will be more than happy to attend them. So, future doctor, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little background check?
All right. Hi everyone. My name is Blessing. Kwela's the surname. As the presenter said before, I'm a second year medicine student in the University of Pretoria. So my journey, it's not something too difficult to grasp or understand. I'm sure a lot of people go through it as well. Just from grade 12, I was doing good academically. Not too many challenges, I won't lie. The only issue was after grade 12, passing everything and then coming into university. That's when challenges really started hitting me because I've been living a sheltered life, so to say. And that's something that made me realize, okay, I don't really know what real life is. And so coming into university, I then started to lose myself, and also just on top of that, not having any funding for this very expensive degree that I'm doing. And so it just pushed me down a spiral. But hey, there's a happy ending to the story, so stick around to find out.
Oh, okay, that's nice. So can you please tell us back in high school, what kind of a student were you? We know in high school there are different kind of students. We have the average ones, the notorious ones, the nerds. So what kind of a student were you in those days?
So back in the day, I was what you would call a nerd, type A student. It was just me and the books. Nothing too funny going on in my life as much. I really just did my best to run away from those things because back at home, they'd always tell me not to, do anything that would get me into trouble or that would cause people to look at my family weird. So I'd always try to maintain that type of image as well. I was a churchgoer, still am. I'm very much in love with God. And that is something that I pride myself in a lot, and I do my very best to express in everything that I do. Yeah.
Okay, so now tell us about the subjects you took back in high school and also walk us through your matric results. How did you perform in your matric?
So my subjects were, obviously I had my Siswati because I come from Mpumalanga, English, life orientation. I did pure maths, I did physics, I did accounting and life sciences, if I didn't include it before. So my matric results were all 7 distinctions, fortunately, thank to God, with a with a 92% in mathematics, a 91 in accounting. Don't remember, I think it was a 92 in life sciences, and just 90s all around, except for Siswati and English, which were 83 and 82 respectively. But that was more than enough to get me into the University of Pretoria, which I'm thankful for.
Wow, those are really remarkable results. I am sure any of us would be so happy to be able to get such results. So can you tell us your ways? How did you make sure you get such remarkable results, particularly in high school, because we know that there are a lot of negative factors that can disrupt our studies and ultimately making us not to achieve our goals. How did you make sure you get such remarkable results?
Thank you for asking that question. So back in high school, I really made sure that I was a disciplined student, and that was hard to do because most of my friends lived, what I would call a proper life, just having fun in the weekend and then coming back to study on normal days. And they more or less got almost the same results as me. I just upped them in 1 or 2 subjects. But what really made the difference for me was listening, not only to my mother, my father, my family, but also just my teachers as well. They told me that there's great things ahead of me, and so if I just focus and lock in high school, then I could achieve them. And they were right, I did. And so I'm thankful to them. But if someone out there doesn't have that type of person, then I'm hoping that you could tell yourself that anything that you want could be achieved. I'm sure all of us have heard Siso's story, and what a beautiful story it is. if he didn't keep going, if he didn't tell himself that his dream is something achievable, then he wouldn't have been here today. So the same thing applies to you too there at home. You have to tell yourself, you have to be delusional about it. You have to know that I can achieve this, and so you do all that you can do to be disciplined and to just get the job done.
Okay, I think now back at home, either in high school or even at university level, there are a lot of students who love to get the opportunity to study medicine. So what can you tell us about the minimum requirements of studying medicine besides the realistic requirements, which is what students should strive to attain in order to maximize their chances of acceptance?
So for all different types of students, so our averages lie in different areas, but the straightforward requirements for medicine are that you get your APS of 35, excluding life orientation, and so you have to pass your scientific subjects, physics and life sciences, with over 65%, and obviously get I think a code 5 for your languages minimally. But again, because competition is high in university, then that's not enough to get you into medicine per se, and so you obviously have to do over and above that. And what that means is that possibly get all your distinctions or just miss one subject, get a level 6 in that one, and that's okay. All I can say is, again, competition is very tough, so you have to be realistic with yourself, knowing where your average is, and then trying your best to increase that. If it means sacrificing a bit of your lifestyle, a bit of your fun, then you'd have to do that in order for you to get to where you want to be. And if you don't get in the first time, again, referring to Ciso's story, then you could try again until you do.
Thanks a lot for that. I think the thing of aiming for minimum requirements, it's very wrong. Like in my journey in Matric, I was constantly aiming for the minimum requirements, and I did get them because my APS was exactly 35. And guess what? I was rejected left, right, and center because there were a lot of people who did better than me. So it's very important to not get the minimum requirements, but try to level up your game so that you could be in a better position to be accepted. So now let's speak about, we know that you got great results, 7 distinctions, which means you could have done or pursued any course in South Africa, but still you decided to do medicine. Can you tell us your why for medicine? Because we know that a lot of people could get into medicine, they just did medicine. Some are doing medicine for certain reasons. They want the title, the money, the charisma that comes with doing medicine. So can you tell us about your why? Why did you choose to do medicine?
I feel like my why is a very interesting story. So when I was young, I think I was doing grade 4 or 5, I was watching this show called Brain Games on TV. And so what that show did was it basically explained how to hack the human mind in ways that I've never seen before. It explained why we can smell, why we can feel, why we can see, and what the brain uses to do that. And I always asked myself, if we're human beings with personalities and spirits, then how is the brain so important for that? How do you physically combine the brain with the mind? And then from there, I was interested in neuroscience first and how the brain works. And then after that, I just found out the body is a very magnificent and beautiful structure created by the Lord. And so pursuing medicine gives me the closest look at that, gives me the closest view of the beauty that is the human body. So my aim is not just to be a medical doctor by the end of my career, but to expand into research and possibly discover something new that could help someone out there someday.
Wow, that's nice. It's good to know that there are people who are doing medicine because of intrinsic motivation, not the extrinsic motivation. Not that it's wrong to do it for extrinsic motivation, but it's not always the best. So now that we are speaking about your journey into medicine, can you also just tell us or give us a glimpse on the process of becoming a medical doctor in South Africa? How many institutions can you start at to become a doctor? How long does it take? And what happens after you graduate? Do you immediately become an independent qualified doctor, or you have to do other things? Just a glimpse of the process of becoming a medical doctor in SA.
All right, we'll do. So in terms of the number of institutions you can go to, I won't lie, you might have to Google that, I'm not sure.
think it's about 10.
10.
Yeah.
See, someone who did his research over here. But the journey itself is you're gonna do your undergraduate for like 6 years. You're gonna be doing scientific things for the first 2.5 actually. And then halfway through third year, you go into clinicals, and that's when you start being exposed to the hospital environment. You start seeing doctors, you start wearing scrubs, you feel like an actual doctor.
So
there's a but though. So when you're doing your third year in the hospitals, you're not actually just like operating on patients and stuff like that, but you're merely observing what the doctor's doing. You start being hands-on in fifth year. Halfway through fifth year, you become something you call a student intern, SIC. And so at that point, you start actually helping out in procedures, your minute things, drawing blood, venipuncture, and everything like that.
Do you get money as an intern?
No, unfortunately, no, you don't, but it adds to your experience as well. Okay. So the better you do, the higher the marks you get on your practical side of things. And then from there, you go into sixth year, you're still a student intern, and when you're done, you graduate. You do 3 years of community service to South Africa. That's where you work for money. You can basically apply to work at any hospital in the country, and whichever one accepts you, you just go there. You can either live in the hospital as a resident, meaning I don't think you pay any fees for that, or you can live in the area where you use your stipend to pay for that. And then you earn money, you work. You're basically a doctor, but you're still doing your community service, which is compulsory for every medical professional in South Africa. After that 3 years, you get your medical certificate, you do whatever you want. You can start a surgery, you can work in a hospital, you can go do another degree, you can specialize. The pathway from after ComServe is just very open for anything that you want to do.
Okay. So with such good results, can you tell us how many institutions did you apply to, and which university was your first choice? And how did you end up here at the University of Pretoria?
So I know most of you are gonna call me a mama's boy for this, but I applied to UP, I applied to VET, I applied to UCT, and I also applied to UFS for teaching, just in case, you know.
Just 4 institutions.
Just 4 institutions.
Okay.
And then, so I got into UCT. Like UCT actually accepted me after receiving my results, and then UP only accepted me for my second option, which was accounting sciences, because I did accounting in high school. And I was like, so if UP, which is close to home, by the way, I love home, it's not accepting me for medicine, now I have to go far away, you know? And UCT, obviously, growing up, I looked at it as the model institute for me to go to. Still kind of is.
Number 1 in South Africa.
Number 1 in South Africa, and one of the top ones in Africa as a whole. So I've been wanting to go there for a while. But then in grade 12, as the year drew to an end, I found that my reason for wanting to go to UCT wasn't as altruistic, so to say. I wanted to go there because I wanted to enjoy life, so to say. It's the beaches and everything that's going on there. I just wanted to enjoy Cape Town. But then after being accepted there, I found that I'm gonna go far away from home, and so I didn't want that for myself, because now I'm far away from my mom, and if something happens at home, it costs money. And at home, we're not really financially privileged like that. And so the day before I was supposed to go to Cape Town, I got an offer from UP for medicine. And then I was like, okay, that means I don't have to go to Cape Town. I don't have to hop on that plane and go far, far away. And I spoke to my mother, and she said, you know what, if you feel like you have to be close to home, go ahead. Then I came to UP, and I won't lie, that was the best decision of my life, because I met people like Ciso, and because that's why I strengthened my relationship with God as well.
Okay, you mentioned that you also got admitted at UCT, which I believe is everyone's dream in South Africa, particularly for studying a noble profession like medicine, which is very competitive to get into. So in UCT, I hear that you have to write something called NBT, National Benchmark Test. Did you also do that in your Matric, or at that time you didn't do it? Like, did you do the NBT, and how did you prepare for it? What did they ask? Things like that. Just a glimpse, not everything.
All right. I did write the NBT, and in terms of preparing for it, I Googled up some past papers. Actually, you can find them online, and also someone sent me some other past papers as well. So I just did practice. And what helps a lot is knowing your basic grade 10 maths online and being good at English. So just read your novels and you'll be good.
Wow, that's good. So now let's say you are a first year medical student at UP. I'm sure there are a lot of challenges you had to encounter, particularly we all know that adapting in a university environment is extremely difficult. I was the other person who also couldn't really adapt. It took me the whole 12 months to successfully adapt. Can you tell about yourself? What challenges did you encounter and how did you overcome those challenges in your first year?
All right. So for me, the challenges that I had to face in first year was that I'm no longer in a sheltered environment where my family are the ones that decide most of the things for me, where I go, what I do. And so that freedom brought with it a sense of I can do what I want. But I didn't really think about how the consequences of doing those things could be. And so for a very short period, hey, don't get me wrong, for a very short period, I was very far away from God. I got away from the church and I was just starting to dabble into the worldly life, going out. I had a girlfriend, God's sakes. And all of these things. And so in that I lost myself as well. I lost who Blessing really is. And it took someone outreaching to me and inviting me to church again for me to find that person once more. Not to say don't try new things in university. It's very nice and exciting to try new things, but also be careful of the consequences. Because now you're no longer in a sheltered environment. So everything you do affects the future. That's what you need to think about the most.
Okay. So now, can you just give anyone out there who has an intense desire to get into medicine, be it a high school student or a varsity student, what advice would you give to them to make sure that they ultimately get into medicine? Any advice for them?
All right. I have two stories for that. I'm not going to be very long. So the first one is of a girl who wanted to do medicine all her life, but she started with BSc because she couldn't qualify first time. Started with BSc in the University of Pretoria, and then she applied for medicine half of the year. She was gonna go for another degree as her first choice, but her academic advisor said, put medicine as your first choice because that's your dream.
Okay.
And she did that, and she worked very hard, and she got into medicine. She's my classmate now. And then the second story is of someone who did BSc, Masters, Honors, still couldn't get into medicine for 13 entire years in the University of Pretoria. It took him 30 applications until the 31st one actually got him into medicine, also my classmate. So the moral of the story here is that when you want something, do not give up on it. You keep pushing because you know that's what you're meant to be. That's what you're meant to be doing. Even if it takes you the longest time, at the end of the day, you'll make it like these two people did.
Okay, I think, guys, this is all for this video. I'm not sure if I'm forgetting something important, but if Blessing, do you think we left anything out? Like, did we leave anything out?
No, not much.
Okay, guys, I think this is it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you managed to watch this far, please support local YouTube. It's the right thing to do. You can support the channel by just subscribing and also like this video. And don't forget, your dreams are valid as long as you believe in yourself and put in the work. Bye, until next time.